What is your approach to the economy, and how would you deal with some of the massive debt, the unchecked spending, and job creation?
We're going to have to tighten our belt, seriously, and that's everywhere. I will not touch Social Security. I will not touch Medicare. Everything else is going to get cut. That includes defense. I'm a national security guy. I've got my son fighting there. The cost in Afghanistan per soldier is $1 million per year. It's exorbitant. It's crazy. The amount of waste, fraud, and abuse going on with these two complexes is just insane. Secretary Gates has just stepped up and said, yeah, I've got a problem with fraud, waste, and abuse. No kidding. I think we're going to have to cut that. We're going to have to cut our expenses in defense 10 to 15%. We can do this. We should not be building aircraft that the military doesn't want just because some congressman wants it built. This is part of the problem. We're going to have to cut across the board. 30% of last year's federal budget was borrowed money. We brought in 2.4 in tax receipts. We spent over 3.6 trillion. 39%. It's incredible. We cannot continue to do this. We're going to have to cut. We're going to cut every place. We're going to have to reduce the size of government. And also, in terms of tax, we're going to have to lower taxes at least. I would bring the capital gains down to 0 initially. We've got to spur business. This is the only way out of this. In Europe, they're raising taxes in Greece right now, thinking that's going to help them recover. It's insanity. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not sound economics. It's not. So, in terms of the economy, for New York, we're going to have to look at the shale and the natural gas along the border of New York with Pennsylvania. We're going to have to move to natural gas in a very, very large way. That's going to have to be the new economy in America. It's going to have to be the natural gas economy. We have huge amounts of it here. We have huge amounts of it in the Dakotas, North and South Dakota. This is where we have to go. And it's 1/3 the price of what we're paying for electricity right now. So we need to go there on that. The other thing we're going to have to do, what's going to be hard for people, is we're going to have to export. And there are 3 export markets now in the world. It's going to be China, India, and Brazil. Those economies are growing. The Brazilians love American products. So we're going to have to work and help companies do this. Large companies already have an advantage when it comes to exporting. Smaller companies are going to need help. I know a lot about the world. I've spent almost 20 years living abroad, around the world, as a senior CIA officer in multiple cultures, multiple countries. I know these places. I can help us do this. So that's my response on the economy.
Excellent.
Thank you. Question.
Last one. What is your position on abortion?
I am pro-life. I oppose abortion. I oppose all forms of abortion. I do not think the federal government should spend a penny on abortion. Not a penny. Now, there's a case. I'm going to say this. There may be a case where there's rape or incest. That's going to have to be handled at a local level. Not our money's going to spend it. I don't want U.S. tax dollars paying for that. And those cases may only be 1 or 2 or 3 in a state. I don't think that's been even that much, but I don't want a single tax dollar paying for abortion. I oppose abortion. My wife and I just had a child. We just had a baby. We're a little older. She did not even do the amniocentesis. She refused it. She refused. And we were very fortunate. We have a healthy daughter. So, that's where I stand on it. We should be pro-life everywhere in every policy we can as we look at this. I recognize that there may be some super extreme thing where it might be a difficult question for people, whether it's the life of the mother or the child. I don't want to be involved in that. But we as a society should be for life at every single opportunity, and we shouldn't be paying for any abortion, whether